Hello, Senator.
May I come in?
Certainly.
Want to tell me about it?
Well, I guess you know the basic facts. Not much to tell beyond that.
I know that you've decided that your marriage is over, that you've accepted a job in San Francisco. I know that you're leaving for the airport at 6 o'clock.
You must have spoken with your mom.
No, Bob.
Oh.
So?
So, things didn't work out with Seneca, and, nothing's gonna happen here in the same old place, old patterns. So I'm leaving. Wish me luck.
Oh, I do. Joe, why didn't you tell me you were leaving?
Well, actually, I was gonna write you a letter from San Francisco.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. Why California?
Because it's as far from New York as you can get without, with staying on the same continent.
Jill, you said 1,000 times you could never be happy anywhere but New York.
Never say never.
Yeah. So, you want to, tell me about the job?
Senior associate in a small, classy firm, specializing in malpractice and international law. Partnership in 6 months.
Partners to who?
Oh, well, you may remember the name, Ken Alexander. I went to law school with him.
Oh, yeah, those damn Christmas cards. I remember.
You have an amazing memory.
Well, I can remember names because it's part of my business, or, well, politics is my business because I can remember names either way. Anyway, I remember he used to send you an annual invitation for you to join him in the practice of law. I used to take comfort in the fact that he was married then.
Yeah.
Is he still married?
No.
Oh.
My interest in Ken has never been, nor is it now, of a personal nature.
What happened with Seneca?
What you said would happen?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that, Joe.
Generous of you.
See, I thought you two had everything going for you. I thought the memorial for Edmund brought you two closer. I thought you were planning to have another child.
Where did you get that idea?
What about the Edmund Coleridge Bolak Pavilion?
Well, Seneca can, work on that with one hand tied behind his back. My brother and my sister on the board, raise money, your influence behind it. What could go wrong?
I'm just a little surprised you're walking out on it like this.
You know, this memorial pavilion is just another manifestation of Seneca's to control me, my life, my past, and my future. At this point, it has ceased in my mind to have any connection with my little boy. I can walk away from it with the greatest of ease.
I see. Will Seneca give you a divorce?
It doesn't matter.
It could.
Not very likely. I'll tell you, we're right about one other thing.
Twice?
Yeah, when you'd explained to me ad nauseum that I was not interested in marriage because I was afraid of it. And the only way I would entertain the idea in my head was if I knew it was an impossibility. It should have worked with Seneca, and it didn't.
Jill, it never had a chance.
Never mind, all right? Thank you so much for coming to say goodbye to me.
How well have you thought this move through?
Oh, well enough to know that I'm leaving for the airport in 5 minutes.
Well, it's a dumb thing to do.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me.
Yeah, I did. And this is the end of the discussion.
There hasn't been a discussion yet, Jillian.
Oh, I suppose you're suggesting that this move is ill-considered because I haven't discussed it with you.
Yeah, I am.
You are incredible.
Who else is going to tell you the truth, Jill?
What?
You heard me. You know Faith isn't going to argue with you, and neither is Roger. You know that. And I'm sure my mother nearly exhausted herself trying to mind her own business. Now, did any of them ask you any of the hard questions?
For instance?
For instance, from what and from whom are you running away?
I am not running away from Seneca.
I didn't think you were.
Then what the hell are you talking about? Frank Ryan, you are of such insignificant importance to me that you couldn't cause me to cross the street, let alone the country. And let me remind you of one other thing. In a few days, you are marrying Ray, precisely according to plan. At which point, not even you could imagine you having a decisive factor in anything that I do. Goodbye!
Now, wait a minute. Jillian, get back here!
I'm...
What kind of game is this? Racing through the back corridors of a public building?
This is not a game.
This is a freight elevator.
Who cares?
Well, it isn't running.
It is running. I heard it.
You're hysterical. You know that.
With rage. I mean, who asked you to come over here and offer your advice?
Just calm down and listen to me for 5 minutes, okay? There are a couple of things I want to say to you.
I don't want to hear them.
Will you please listen to me?
Will you please just go away?
Just calm down. Now, listen, I'm not going anywhere, neither are you until you hear this.
I will not tolerate another person telling me what is the right and wrong thing for me to do. So, have a wonderful wedding, a swell Senate session, and maybe I'll see you Christmas.
No. You're going to give me 15 minutes. We're going to go down the front elevator, we're going to go across the street to Ryan's, and we're going to have one beer. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. You are going to tell me what you're doing and why you're doing it.
I don't owe you any explanations. Will you just leave me alone?
That's it. You're gonna wait a minute. It's quiet in here, and no one is going to interrupt us, and I mean but no one. Now, you're going to get your head together, and you're going to tell me what the real reason is why you're running away.
It is none of your business!
Well, like we say on the streets, I am making it my business.
You just get your hand away from there.
Damn it, cut it out.
Will you stop it?
Just...
Now, what's the matter?
Stalled.
Hasn't.
Julian, I suspect that's only making it worse. You stalled the elevator, Mrs. Bolak.
Me?
Yeah, you. Conflicting signals again.
This is your fault, and you know it. And stop smirking at me!
I beg your pardon.
Oh, no, you don't. You wouldn't know what it was like to beg anybody's pardon. You were the most insensitive, arrogant man I have ever known. You just had to come to my office one more time, didn't you, to reinforce your ego at my expense. It never even occurred to you that if I had wanted to see you and say goodbye, I would have damn well come to your office and said goodbye. And you know why I didn't? Because I wanted to miss out on this little encounter, which I knew would turn into exactly the kind of disaster it did. Except I didn't expect the elevator to stop.
Look, Jill, I realize you're hysterical, but I suggest you leave that lever alone.
I have a plane to catch.
Well, it just might be that you are not going to make it.
Frank. He's not back.
No.
Where'd he go?
Oh, just around the corner. You know, there's some really terrific stuff in here. Those people up in New Hampshire really pushing Frank for that vice presidential slot. Even if nothing goes through, it's going to be great coverage. Take a look.
In a minute. When will he be back?
About 10 minutes.
He said that 15 minutes ago. Where is he, Bobby?
He went to say goodbye to Jill.
Damn him. And damn you.
Help! Can anybody hear us out there? We are stuck in the freight elevator! Help!
Come on, Jill, take it easy, okay? It's not like
Don't tell me to take it easy. I have a plane to catch.
Well, hysteria won't help.
I am not hysterical! And I don't see you coming up with anything. I mean, you're the reason we're stuck here. Why don't you do something?
What do you suggest I do?
I don't know. Just get us out of here. Now!
Did what?
He just can't stay away from her.
You knew, didn't you? You knew Jill was leaving. You wouldn't tell him.
He just can't let go of her.
You couldn't trust him enough to let him go over, say goodbye.
He said goodbye to her. He said goodbye a long time ago.
Frank and Jill have been close for years. They lived together. They had a child. They lost that child. Now, you can't expect Frank to forget that.
Why not?
Because he doesn't want to forget.
Right.
Sorry.
He's gotta forget.
Why?
Because he still loves her.
Ray, you and Frank are going to be married in a few days. Now, he went over to see an old friend. He will be back.
You don't understand. How the hell could you think you understand?
Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm glad I don't.
Get out of here.
You are some sad lady.
Just get out.
Tell Frank I'll call him in the morning. Good night.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, are you gonna get us out of here or not?
I'd love to. What would you like me to do?
I told you, I don't know. You're the big man around here. Do something.
Well, maybe I should use my political influence. This is your senator speaking. Frank Ryan, senator from the state of New York. Help! No, didn't work. You know, it's amazing the lack of respect people have for government these days.
Help! Will somebody get me out of here? Please help me, please!
Well, I notice it's not us anymore.
You can rot in here for all I care. Just get me out.
Well, I'm sorry, but it looks like we're in this together.
And just what do you find so funny?
Nothing. Nothing. Look, someone will find us, okay? So try and relax, enjoy the company. You know, I feel constrained to point out that if you had kept yourself together and listened to me for 5 minutes instead of hysterically jamming that lever back and forth, we wouldn't be here in the first place, so don't take it out on me.
And if you hadn't come to my office and And what made you come in the first place anyway?
I wanted to say goodbye to you.
Oh, well, now you don't have to worry about that, do you? We will probably be stuck here for the rest of our lives together. Why? Why couldn't you just let me go?
I couldn't.
Oh, I can't believe this is happening again. I mean, I managed to get you out of my life, build a new life for myself, start all over again, and there you are. And it all starts again. The rage, the pain, the hurt.
There was more than that. There was more than just that for us, you know it.
Oh, was there?
Yes, there was. What are you looking for?
I'm looking at the trap door. I mean, why don't you try to open it?
No, that's not a good idea. It's dangerous to go crawl out on the roof of that elevator. Look, we might as well just sit down and wait. Somebody's bound to be along sooner or later.
No, not necessarily. This part of the wing of the hospital is hardly ever used, only for the offices. I mean, everybody has probably gone home for the night. Oh, why didn't I just use the regular passenger elevator?
You were trying to get away from me.
I know. It was a rhetorical question. Oh. Kneel down.
What?
I said kneel down.
Look, I already said I'm sorry. I'm not going to get down on my knees and do penance.
I want to climb on your shoulders. Maybe I can open the trap door.
Jill, I'm telling you, it's dangerous.
Come on.
Right, I'm down.
Okay. Now slowly get up.
All right.
Slowly.
Oh, just watch
Oh!
it. You're choking me.
I'm sorry.
You got it? right?
Oh, I am terrific.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you get down on your knees and I'll try to get on...
No, thank you. Anybody up there? Can you hear me? Oh. Oh. I know I am going to miss that flight now.
There'll be other planes.
Doesn't this bother you at all?
Well, I must admit it's not my idea of a great evening out, but I'm in no hurry. We're in no real danger. And besides, it's a perfect opportunity for us to have a long talk. I mean, there's a lot of things that we've left unsaid.
I have said everything that I have to say to you.
No, you haven't.
Go to hell.
Well, at the moment, I'm not much in a position to go anywhere, but if that's the way you feel about it, then, well, you can entertain yourself here. Sorehead. I coughed. So, Frank, what's new? Nothing. Working on my child health care plan. Couple of antitrust bills. Got stuck in an elevator? No. Really? How did that happen? Well, to be honest with you, there's a difference of opinion about that. As far as I'm concerned. Are you speaking to me, miss?
I heard something. Help! Help us! We're right down here in the elevator. Can you hear us? Help!
No, it's probably just machinery.
Wait, do you think something's wrong? I mean, do you think there's a possibility of us falling?
I don't know. Nah, slim possibility. Possible, but slim.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Were we just carrying on a conversation? I mean, does that mean we're speaking again?
I can't very well walk out, can I?
Oh, well, good. There will be other planes.
Yes.
When are you supposed to start on the job?
Next week. I was supposed to get an apartment, set myself up, settle in.
Why did you decide to go?
I don't know. It's been coming for a long time.
But why did you decide to go?
It's what I have to do.
Why?
It is no good here anymore.
You mean Seneca?
Mostly.
It's a long way to run.
I am not running.
I have a lot of friends here, Jill.
And too many memories.
You won't be able to leave them behind. You want to tell me about it?
About what?
About leaving him?
It is none of your business.
Oh, all right. I just thought that since I was so noble and not saying I told you so, that...
I made a mistake.
Yeah?
It's not the first time.
Frank, please. Please.
know.
It's just like the last time when she disappeared and nobody could find her, and you found out she was a drug addict,
Listen,
remember?
if she does show up, please have her get in touch with me.
I will.
Thank you, Kevin.
Can I talk to... Did you have to bring that up now?
According to her plans, she should be on the plane to San Francisco by now. I thought she told you.
Yeah, she did. But then I waited for her at the apartment. I wanted to make one last try to talk her out of this nonsense before she took off. She never showed up. Her bags are still at the apartment. I know she didn't get on that plane.
Did you try her office?
Yeah, her office stuff is gone, so at least she got that far.
Maybe Faith's her.
No, I checked everybody. Nobody's seen her since this afternoon. I keep worrying that something's happened to her. Now, your wife made me remember the last time that Jillian disappeared.
Where did you see Delia?
Over at Ryan's.
Of course. Seneca, whatever Dee's other virtues, you have to know by now that she's an alarmist. I'm sure Jill's all right.
Yeah, but she's been acting so strangely lately.
I thought she's been fine, better than I've seen her in months.
Damn it, Roger, she is walking out on a marriage, on her life, on her work. She is running away.
Look, I don't want to see her go either. But it seems to be what she has to do.
Why? Oh, I don't know. I can't help feeling that whatever has happened is something to do with Frank Ryan.
So that's what's worrying you. Look, if my sister is with Frank, so be it. That means that that's where she wants to be.
Yeah. I guess it would have been better for a lot of people if I had accepted that a long time ago, but I just couldn't. I still can't.
It's her life, Seneca.
I don't want to lose her.
I know. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. Listen, if she does show up, let me know.
Sure.
Good night.
Good night.
Here we are.
About each other, about other people.
Yeah?
Some more obvious than others, but... will you give me an honest answer to a question?
If I give you any answer, it'll be an honest one.
Well, what did you see in Seneca in the first place?
Well, in the beginning, after the trial and after Nell died, I admired him. I felt sorry for him. You'd gone back to Delia. I was lonely. So I thought that I would try to make an alternative life for myself.
Jill, here you are, 3 years later, still trying the same thing. Only this time, it's an alternative to Seneca instead of to me.
Well, I guess I'm not doing too well, am I? And obviously, I'm going to miss my plane to San Francisco.
There'll be other planes.
Yeah, if I ever get out of this damn elevator.
Jill, stay away from those buttons. Seriously. We've overloaded the circuits. You'll only make things worse.
Oh, you don't know any better what happened to this elevator than I do. You are lousy at machinery. Can anybody out there hear me? We are stuck in this elevator. We need some help.
Jill, I know that if you give conflicting signals to a machine, you get precisely the same result that you give when you give conflicting signals to a human being. Everything's up. Will you sit down and relax? Someone will be along eventually and want the machine, the elevator, whatever it is down in the basement. Okay? At the very least, someone will be here in the morning. They'll start loading freight. They'll start loading laundry, something.
Yeah, well, it smells like onions to me.
Maybe they'll start loading onions. I have another question I'd like you to answer.
Oh, well, why not? Under the circumstances, it's difficult to remain aloof.
When did all this trouble with Seneca start?
Guess the first moment I married him.
Really? See, I had no sense of that at all.
I knew that it wouldn't work. Every instinct that I had, and I wanted a father for Edmund. And I knew that Seneca was trying very hard not to control my every waking moment.
And you were furious with me about Ray.
So he offered me a marriage contract, and I gave in. But I knew it wouldn't work from the beginning. I think maybe I was counting on that. You're probably right about what you said before about me and marriage.
marriage to Seneca anyway.
Marriage to anyone. I felt trapped. The day Edmund died, I went out to the beach house so I could think about Seneca and the entire situation that we had. Then I wound up in the hospital, and he was good to me, and he helped me. But
what?
I wanted you.
I know.
And then finally, when we were together, I made Seneca into a problem. Every time I was with him, I was thinking about you. That says something, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
And then I had the trouble with my back, and I really did get hung up on the medication. I knew that I needed help. Only I got more help than I bargained for. I guess that was the beginning of the end. I became dependent on him, and he liked that. Then he was determined to have another baby, and I guess I knew then that it was over.
Jill, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so am I. And I am also sick to death of analyzing him and me and me and him. I mean, it's over. I didn't make him happy, and he didn't make me happy. Over. That's that.
Okay.
Now you owe me one.
One what?
One honest answer.
It's fair enough.
Why are you marrying Ray?
Because the life we've made together is a good one, and I want to formalize it, and because I want to give little John a home with me. Ray and I enjoy the same things. We want the same things. She's even more competitive and more obsessive about politics than I am. I'm marrying Ray because she's been good to me and because I love her.
Okay.
Why don't you like her?
'Cause I don't think she's honest. Oh, she's honestly in love with you. Wants you, needs you. But I don't think she's honest about who she is or about how she goes about getting what she wants.
Ray manipulates. She's determined to have her own way, and generally she doesn't have much patience with any other viewpoint than her own. But none of that really qualifies as dishonesty, does it?
No comment?
All right.
Tell me something. When did you first fall in love with her?
I don't know. Well, there are many kinds of love in the world, but never the same love twice.
No.
Well, there's no way you can compare this with anything else. Especially not with what you and I shared.
I know that. I'm not trying to make comparisons.
It's hard not to make any. You know, Washington is exciting, and the campaign was terrific. But I have never been more excited about anything as I was about that first campaign for city council. You know that?
I know.
You know, part of it, I'm sure, was because we were young. It was the first time out for both of us. And usually, we didn't know what we were doing, what the hell we were doing from one minute to the next. No,
But we did better than that.
Well, all right, I guess so.
No, you know we did. You know that Dave Feldman came up. I mean, I saw him the other day, and he said that that was the best organized amateur campaign he has ever seen.
Oh, come on. With Bobby carrying around the campaign funds in his shoebox?
No. And all the finance meetings, right, late at night, and then winding up my apartment at 4.
4 o'clock in the morning. We'd make love, have breakfast, and go back to work.
Yeah.
And Washington would be so